Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy alike, currently being directed by J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they are currently hard at work on developing the final film of the Skywalker saga. They are currently working on the second and third act of this movie, since the first one is all done and completed, which is really great news. But looking at everything that we have been learning here these past couple of weeks or so, when it comes to some of the set designs, the set leaks, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with Kylo Ren, Rey, Emperor Palpatine, and even Supreme Leader Snoke and others. Very interesting stuff for sure. Now, we do know that JJ will be implementing a lot of prequel trilogy continuity into this film, which is always great because a lot of people always want to see more prequel elements in a modern Star Wars film. But looking at one of the descriptions, a description of both Rey and Kylo inside of a dark environment, walking on a catwalk that seems to be very similar to the Worlds Between Worlds from Star Wars Rebels. In front of Kylo Ren are two figures. They both consist of Emperor Palpatine and Supreme Leader Snoke. Though Palpatine and Snoke in this sequence appear to be younger, without their injuries, the illusions of Palpatine and Snoke walk toward both Kylo Ren and Rey before they vanish and morph into both Darth Vader and a younger Luke Skywalker without his beard. Both the Vader and Luke figures vanish also before another vision shows Palpatine attacking a pair of Jedi and Snoke in front of a couple figures dressed in purple cloaks. Now, I wanted to go over a couple of things here that really raise my interest a whole lot. And the last part where Snoke is in front of the pair of individuals dressed in the purple cloaks. Now, I don't know if you guys recall reading the Last Jedi Visual Dictionary, but it goes over Snoke's attendants. And there's reason to believe, in my opinion at least, that these figures dressed in purple cloaks are Snoke's attendants. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but these individuals were the ones responsible for saving the remnants of the Empire and guiding them into the unknown regions and creating them into the First Order. You do see them briefly in The Last Jedi movie itself, but then they just eventually disappear without question. No explanation as to where they went or why they vanished. I'm not quite sure if that was an editing error or what, but you do see them briefly in the beginning of this movie. I believe it's when Kylo Ren and Hux enter the throne room. Now, as far as both Kylo Ren and Rey witnessing two masters, alright, Darth Sidious and, of course, Supreme Leader Snoke, why are they seeing these two figures? Are they inside of the Worlds Between Worlds? Because they also do actually have a vision of Darth Sidious attacking a pair of Jedi, whereas they also see Supreme Leader Snoke actually looking and examining a pair of individuals dressed in the purple cloaks, which I believe are Snoke's attendants. So looking at everything here, it seems as though that maybe J.J. Abrams is trying to toy around with the idea of implementing a lot of Star Wars Rebels content, such as the World Between Worlds. And that to me would be the best way to insert time travel in a more unique way for a Star Wars film. Now, a lot of you guys out there may have a huge debate over this. I know a lot of people think that, time travel doesn't necessarily belong in a Star Wars film. It can work in an animated movie and or series, but not in a live-action Star Wars movie, at least in the movie theater itself. So that's the one big debate there, is that would it really work in a major motion picture for a major trilogy such as the Skywalker saga? I'm not quite sure if it would really work, but there's no confirmation in this storyboard description if this is the Worlds Between Worlds. This could just be a vision between both Kylo Ren and Rey. And what's very interesting to me is that Kylo and Rey go through all these different types of visions. Could this have something to do with the Force Bond sequence? I'm not quite sure. If you guys actually examine the very end of The Last Jedi, you will witness that both Kylo and Rey are still having the Force Bond sequences. They're still connected, and they may be connected permanently for all we know. The fact that they are seeing both Snoke and Palpatine really excites me, and it seems like they're trying to really bring in a lot of cameos into Episode 9 and trying to do a lot of exciting and surprising things, a lot of fan service, which is something that I think that this Star Wars movie needs. But as far as everything else goes, this could very well also explain why Andy Serkis canceled his appearance at Keystone Comic-Con in Philadelphia, and how he was actually involved in a big project that actually, involved a lot of different scheduling conflicts for his Comic-Con appearance, and everything on his IMDb page is all completed. Now, we haven't heard anything about Ian returning back into Star Wars Episode 9, so as far as, Emperor Palpatine goes, I'm not quite sure how they're going to pull that off if it's not Ian. That's one thing to, really take note of here, is whether or not they would use him if Emperor Palpatine does end up in the final cut of this movie. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.